And then they said, did you make this? I'm like, mm-hmm, taste it. Taste it. You know, so, and that's what I started. So I started at temp agencies and just started going all around. So I spent 6 years temping here in Atlanta. Worked at the World Congress Center, hate that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand that place.
Been there.
And then I did Country Club, Drew Hill Country Club.
That's where we met. That's where we
Is
met.
that where y'all met Drew Hill?
Yeah, we used to work there for a while.
Yeah, you know, I used to work there. I mean, I worked at every country club in Atlanta. Worked at the Army Hotel. Worked at Marriott Hotel. So I worked at all the different hotels here. But my biggest one, well, I'm gonna say the two biggest ones. I was working at the W, you know, on Peachtree, right by Lincoln Small Rack. So I went there.
Down the street from each other.
Yeah, the W, I was at the W.
I worked at Intercontinental.
Yeah.
I wanted to work there.
Yeah.
I wanted to work there. I wanted to work there. I wanted to work
I was
there.
there too.
Cause I wanted to work there, so I
Yeah.
started at the W and, you know, Garmache. You know,
Yeah.
I was
That's
in
where
there.
I was at.
You know the Garmache? Like,
I was in Garmin.
And banquets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
man. So
I did both.
So I was in the Garmache, you know, had my own little station, you
Yeah.
set up and everything. And the chef like, okay, this is what you gonna do. I'm like, okay, then cool. So I started doing the Garmache, and then they had their plate ups. I'm like, okay, then we about to do a plate up, you know. I'm like, 50 people. I'm like, I'm used to like 500 people.
500
people. They're like,
100 and
I'm
something.
like,
200.
so I'm like, they like taking. I'm like, why is y'all taking slow for this? Is 50 people. Can we just get this done?
Yeah.
And the chef looking like, Polly, calm down, Polly. Like, so when someone presented an opportunity for me to go across the street to the Ritz-Carlton, man, I was like, okay then. They said, bring your knife bag, dress in your whites and everything and stuff. So I'm like, okay then. Now, mind you, I've never been to culinary school. Never. So I didn't know the terminology of the cuts. I didn't know that. I just knew how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I just knew how to do it, right? So I get upstairs. They had the board in front. They had, you know, the celery, the onions and everything. I take my knife out. They said, okay, this is what we want you to do. I said, okay. And they walked off. They didn't stand by you, instruct you, know. They like, okay then, so I started cutting. I started cutting and everything, and I'm watching them watching me, and I'm like, okay, I gotta do this even. Make sure you curve your hands and all this stuff. So they came out, they looked at it, they like, okay. So they went back in the office, and I'm still, you know, practicing. And they said, what I admire about you, you kept on doing. You was looking for perfection. You were looking for that perfection. And they went back in the office. The next thing, they called me like, okay, can you be here a certain day? I'm like, yeah. So I went back over to the W. I'm like, yeah, I got a job at the Ritz-Carlton. I got a job at the Ritz-Carlton. And then they all looking at me and talking about,
I'm sure.
they like, the chef looked at me like, Now, man, I was temping there. And he like, you got a job at the Ritz-Carlton? I'm like, yeah, chef. Shoot. Yeah, chef, he got mad. You know he got mad.
Yeah, that's what they usually do.
Yeah.
They go get mad first because they don't want you to leave.
He got mad, right? He got
Already
mad.
know.
He got mad and like put me out. I'm like, how you gonna put me out? Because I wanted to still work part-time there.
Yeah.
But, you know, because I wanted so much experience. I wanted like a world experience. Because, you know, I didn't want to pay, like you said, $75,000 or $80,000 to go to culinary school.
Yeah,
That's a waste of money.
About to do it.
That's a waste of money.
About to do it.
I mean, I don't understand how people say they went to Cordon Bleu. I'm like, so what? You can't even.
All you gotta do is gourmet.
No, they don't even know how to cut.
I know.
They don't know how to clean fruit.
Yeah.
I mean, cause I was in Chicago.
So much stuff. Yeah, it's a lot.
Right, and I was in Chicago, right, and we was with a team of. We were auditioning for United Airlines for the private coach, right? And it was 8 of us or something, right? I never been to school, but all of them been to school like 20 years. I got 30 years, and all this stuff, right? But I beat all of them. And the reason why the chef said cause your passion. He said, I see it in you. They didn't have that passion, so he said, this is what I want you to do. I want you to learn how to cut these tenderloins. He put the tenderloins on the table, right? He said, this is what I want you to do. You pull that chain off. You pull that sybil back off. And then you run it, then you cut it. And he's like, okay, so I started cutting. He's like, okay then. Then next thing he said, turn around. I'm fine. He had 15 cases of tenderloins over there. I need you to cut all these tenderloins. I say, what?
Yeah,
I
I
said-
already know.
You know what I'm saying?
We already know.
You know, like tenderloin. Now I'm a perfection tenderloin. It's just like when I worked at Delta. Y'all know Delta out there?
Mhm.
I worked at Delta. I didn't know how to clean fruit. Okay? It's like, what is you doing? You manipulating fruit like that's how you clean for them. They made me clean fruit for a whole freaking month. I could clean fruit so fast now. Because I'm
Yeah,
like,
me too.
you know, you could
Dang.
I could clean it so I have a whole lot of different hands-on experience. Hands-on experience, but I think by working at the Ritz-Carlton, it helped me. I started from the bottom
Mhm.
and came to the top just because of my passion. The other people would come there and like, oh, but I would stay late. Sometimes I would stay 16 hours at the hotel, just want to learn. Just want to learn. And I mean, like, I'm a learning person, like absorb. I
Yeah.
like to absorb.
Same here.
And see, a lot of young people that's coming in the culinary world, they don't want to listen.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't want to listen. They, you know, about my business in Chicago, I hired a lot of people.
Mhm.
They said they wanted to do the culinary. They didn't want it. They wanted that money. They thought it was quick. And in the kitchen, I don't know how y'all, I'm a beast.
Yeah,
Because I take my stuff serious.
Mhm.
Same.
When you come into my kitchen, it's a sense of urgency, and we looking for as close as perfection as we can get. We're never gonna be perfect, but we look for perfection to the best, and that's what the Ritz-Carlton told me. We are ladies and gentlemen that serve ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
So everything that we serve, imagine you sitting at that table. How would you like to be served? And that's what I kept telling people. Just imagine. So, you know, and then another thing I do a lot for 20 years here in Georgia, I cook for shelters. For 20 years, I've done the Covenant House. We just fed them last Tuesday.
Mhm.
We fed them chili, jambalaya, and stuffed peppers.
Mhm.
And when I took my chicken sandwiches, they like chicken sandwiches. Oh my God, chicken sandwiches. And they said, Miss Polly, where you been? Because the Covenant House used to be off Lakewood before they moved over on Johnson Street. So I used to go over there when they was on Lakewood, and I used to cook for them. They had a little small kitchen like this size, right? And I used to go cook for them, and I used to help the children, show me that you want something, like I would pay for your graduation and everything. And then I went to the Genesis house, and I would cook for them, and I would do Mother's Day. Mother's Day is special to me because of my mother, and I contribute that day, especially for my mom, right? So I would go to the shelters on Mother's Day and cook for the mothers,
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
if you look at my website in Chicago, through the pandemic, we have done 6,000 meals. I have gave away 6,000 meals. So if you look at our website, Sweet Polly's Kitchen, you will see Chicago Meals of Love. We have did hospitals, we have did senior citizen homes, we have did shelters, we have 6,000 meals, and it was just me and him. We started off with salads. We would give salads, healthy salads, because the nurses they're on the run, doctors on the run. They don't have time to sit there and eat.
They don't.
So we try to keep something that was healthy and they can keep moving. We would give them